Like,
that's why, again, I don't want to get in trouble from nobody, but that's why I'm all for artists streaming their own music.
Me too.
On your own website.
Me too.
$3 a month.
Me too.
You stream our catalog.
Me too.
Period.
Me too. It's just that we've become conditioned to go to Spotify. I don't even have a Spotify account, so I can't listen to your music on Spotify at all. Anyway, I don't. I mean, I do got a Spotify account,
the free one,
but
I got the free one.
I mean, I got a because we got a podcast, so I got a Spotify for podcasters because that's our podcast is on Spotify, and I get it, right? So it's kind of that same thing. Like, I get it because a mass of people live. That's like not using YouTube. And YouTube is the biggest search engine and is, of course, is owned by Google, right? And so it's, who doesn't use YouTube? And so it's the same thing. Who doesn't use Spotify? I mean, I literally don't listen to any music on Spotify.
I do think that
artists. Apple, so that's,
I think the artists, music. I got YouTube music.
So
it's worth the money. I don't want to give a commercial for them, but anyway.
Yeah, but it's the same thing.
I think artists stream their own music. Maybe you still have it on the major DSPs, but give your real people who are fanatical about you option to pay you $5 a month.
Get a Patreon.
$4 a month.
Get a Patreon
to stream our whole catalog plus exclusive songs that's nowhere else.
Yeah, good.
Pay y'all independence. Listen, if you got 1,000 good fans, maybe you can get a couple hundred of them to pay you.
If you don't have a Patreon, you should have a Patreon. I mean, I got a Substack, and the reason why I got a Substack
or just a Cash App in your bio,
something. Oh, you can even do Stripe. Right, if you go to our profile right now in the bio, you can actually donate to We Create Music TV and the Unplugged. If you want to support us, right? You can set up a Stripe where you can have people donate to you. It don't got to be a whole Patreon. You can set up a Stripe that goes directly to your bank account.
Something, man. All I'm saying to the people, is we gotta kind of fight against this in certain ways, and one way to fight against it is to have your own way to. Because I think Spotify got to be in on it some kind of way.
They know they're
in on conspiracy theorists. Or whatever you want to call me.
I think they are on it.
They in on it.
They are.
At the very minimum,
you are.
Indirectly in on it. At the very minimum. Some kind of way.
I think y'all are directly in on it. Because the way that the way they blew up and how they started to get, now Spotify would say that they just ended up on these playlists and that's how they blew up. Yeah, but Spotify still has to have some type of, as a matter of fact, that there's this article that I put in here where it talks about Spotify ex-employee says no protections exist against AI bans like Velvet Sundown going viral. Like, and he breaks the whole thing down, talking about why there isn't any protection and why it's probably in best interest for Spotify to continue to push AI generated bans in music.
I think we got to be careful though, because the other side of this is that I don't want us as artists and independent creators to get this thing in our mind where it's like, because it's inevitable. I said this last week.
It's inevitable.
So stop being mad. Just do your thing. Like, stop. It's going to be more AI people. There's going to be people who are not musically inclined but know how to work an algorithm. They know how to work AI, and they're going to make bands that probably out-rap your favorite rapper with a unique voice. It's coming. Just focus on being authentic, and you know what I'm saying. Focus on you.
But that's the thing.
Artists whining and crying. Well, this ain't fair. And Timbaland, the whole thing with Timbaland, his AI artist. Okay, he's doing the AI artist, but like he ain't gonna be the last one.
He ain't gonna be the last one. He ain't gonna be the only one.
So like, stop whining.
But the question is it fair though?
No, it's not fair.
Is it?
It's not about being fair.
I guess the question is stop whining about it.
Yeah, it's not fair.
Right. We know it's not fair.
It's not fair at all.
What the whining about is not going to do anything. Right. I guess for me, it's more about what the constructive criticism part of it. I do believe in voicing your opinion about things.
Fight for the labels. Put a label on it. Let us know.
Yeah. Like go through that process, right? Go through the due diligence of ensuring that AI artists and bands, because they're going to be there, but there's a label on it. Like you go to the store, you see that it contains bioengineered ingredients. Put that on it. That way I know, do I want to buy this or not?
And you talk about hip hop in the media. Our job is to highlight what's going on. So
that's right.
Hey, that's AI. Hey y'all, here's this new rap group that's real people. Let's highlight them. Bring them on for an interview. Give them publicity. Fight out, but the complaining stuff, stop it, man.
Yeah, because I would agree the complaining stuff doesn't actually really accomplish anything.
Fight the right way. Highlight the real hip hop. Highlight the stuff that's fake. Fight for labels. Keep our eye on it. Report on the latest developments. But we got to keep moving forward.
Yeah,
all these pity
parties. Write your congressman. Be a part of legislation. Be a part of Music Cares, right? Be a part of all these different organizations.
Pity parties, man, and sitting there like.
But not just pity party though. Woe is me. Yeah, we get it. It's not fair. It is here. You got to figure out how you can work in the
World ain't
means
fair,
of it,
man. You know what I'm saying?
right? You got to figure out how you can work within the means of it. And I mean, because the reality is, while you're in that studio and it's taking you 6 months to make an album, in 6 days,
They doing
in 6 hours,
in
6 hours, they got a whole album.
Yeah, and it's crazy, but you know, we're gonna sit here and we're gonna fight it. We're gonna fight to make sure you know that. And if that's your jam, I'm just having thought about, because it is dangerous when you think about cultural appropriation too.
Yeah.
You add that to AI too?
Yes.
Ooh wee.
Bruh.
It's very dangerous. But at the same time though, that's why we in the culture have to get our stuff together. You know, one thing we can do is weed out these culture-vulture media. Weed that out.
Man,
but
you got a lot of media to weed out then.
Or the thing of what again.
A lot of weeding out.
I'm being facetious when I say that, because
I know
you can't weed them out if the people consume it. If that's what they want, the people have to change.
And we continue to support them.
The folks got to change. They got to say, you know what, I don't want to listen to that crap. Yeah, Krishan Rock and Blueface and all that, but I don't want to hear about that.
Man, look, I'm not gonna call him out. Right, it's one of my homies. So because he's probably gonna watch this episode, I'm not gonna call you out, but I am gonna talk about it. So I had did you see that the text I sent about the logos? Did you see that about the look at you check? I need your opinion about which logo to go with for this thing that I want to propose that we do. But anyway,
I think I might have saw it. You sent it a while ago.
Yeah. It's like 5 logos that are in there. And so a friend of mine, I ain't putting him on blast like that because I ain't calling his name out, but he sent it back saying that he chose this as the logo. But in the screenshot was a screenshot of the Joe Budden podcast, right? And I was like, "Oh, you watching the Joe Budden podcast?" And I was like, "I ain't afraid to look. Trust me, I'm gonna ask." I said, "So yeah, have you watched the Indie Unplugged?" Right? I'm gonna ask you, right? He was like, "I'm only watching the Joe Budden podcast because of the Clips interview." And I said, "I understand that." He said, "Yeah, but I've checked out your podcast." He said, "But I'm watching it because of the Clips interview." I said, "Yeah, I get it." I say, "I can't interview the Clips yet. We ain't at that level yet to be interviewing people of, but maybe we could." I never say never, in that sense. But that's the thing, is that we got to we're feeding these other platforms because they are bringing in things that interest us. Even though they may be talking about, here's that word, salacious, culture vulture type things, and they're not talking about anything that's really edifying or educational or impactful or that influences you to do something great in any way. It's just a lot of chat about stuff that really ain't doing nothing. But I was like, I see you watching Joe Budden. You watching this pod? You watching my podcast? Like, what's going on? I did. I did.